Hey, welcome to Blow Part 4. Hard to believe I'm kind of knocking these out every couple of weeks, but since the last installment I've done a couple things to blow. Of course, I want you to see that exhaust pipe that I just made. So I made the exhaust pipes, going back to the stuff I was doing in the 90s and early 2000s. I love dual exhaust, one out each side of the bike. I kind of love the symmetry and the asymmetry of that. So I made these stainless steel exhausts. I'm going to show you how I did it. And I put the Coddington billet aluminum rocker boxes on this. Really rare part from the late 90s and early 2000s. And just so hard to find a set of these. I had found a new old stock set of them and just couldn't wait to get them on here. So I've got those on the bike, and I've got a matching Coddington transmission side cover. So that's really what I've done on it this week. But the dual stainless steel exhausts really bring the lines of this bike together. This bike, to me, has the best lines of any bike I've ever built. It has the same rake and stretch as Misbehaving from my first biker build off on Discovery Channel. I took those TP rocker boxes off my engine because I've got these, and these you just never see. This is the original box from Boyd Coddington's shop. Boyd Coddington rocker boxes. These are so rare. These are new old stock. They've never been used. You see they got Boyd's name etched in them. I remember putting these on bikes in the late 1990s and early 2000s and just thought they were so beautiful, so different than everything else. Super high-end, super expensive. They're going on blow. All right, these are three-piece covers. They got the bottom and middle sections on. I'm gonna put the tops on without putting the rockers in it, just because I'm gonna take this whole engine apart and clean it and powder coat it and go through it. So there's no sense in putting all those parts inside there right now. So I'll go ahead and put the caps on now. These are really nice machine fit with dowel pins to guide them on and keep them straight. It's time for Blow to get some exhaust. So because of the big supercharger on the right side of the engine right here, my options for exhaust pipes are limited. But then because I have the supercharger, I have some new options. I don't have to worry about length of the pipes or the shape of the pipe or size of the pipe or anything, because the supercharger overcomes all the need I have for exhaust scavenging, which is really nice. So I'm gonna run the exhaust from the front cylinder out the left side of the bike over the primary belt, and the exhaust for the rear cylinder out the right side of the bike under the oil tank. This is my big stainless pipe that's going to go out the left side of the bike. Right now I've just got it kind of laid up on top of the primary belt, and naturally I've got to connect the exhaust port to the location of this pipe somehow. So I'm going to go ahead and start building my header right off of the exhaust port here and work my way down to this pipe and join them together. I marked my cut with a Sharpie, and I just use a piece of masking tape around the pipe to kind of give me a straight line. Then with my Sharpie, I mark my cut. Pull my tape, and I've got a pretty straight cut line. Everybody's good at something. This is what I'm good at. The Evo exhaust pipe is held to the head by a clamp like this. And it has a retaining ring that holds that clamp on. And so this pipe needs a lip here. So what I've done is I've cut a couple other pieces of pipe, and what I'm gonna do is split it, and I'll slip it over the top of this and weld it on, and that's what's gonna hold that ring back and be able to hold my pipe up into the head when it's all done. See, there's my lip that'll keep this ring from being able to go past. I'm just going to weld right along this edge here. There's a nice little fusion weld I did just to get my head pipe to where I could bolt it to the head. Then I got my ring on there. My head pipe. See, that's what keeps that flange from coming off the pipe. If there's my stainless head pipe coming off the head there. You get a really good look at it. See how that 90-degree bend gets me coming back toward this side of the bike, which is what I need to connect to this other pipe. I got my head pipe and my first bend section welded in now. And I've also got the pipe from the other side lined up. I've got this fit pretty good. Do a little bit of alignment and fitment here. That pipe you can see is going to go up and go over top of my primary belt. So got a really good angle on it. I'm going to talk to you more about angles later, but I really like how this pipe is coming out. So I'm going to go ahead and mark and weld this section here, reinstall this pipe, and I'm going to do the exhaust tip later after I do the rear exhaust pipe. Once I get both pipes on, I'll do the tips because I want to make sure that everything is just perfect on this motorcycle. Real nice tiny TIG welds with my pulser. The pulse settings on the Miller Dynasty 3000 are the 2.5 pulses per second, 35 amps max, 10 amps minimum. Okay, so I got my head pipe bolted to the rear exhaust port here, and I've got a section that I've cut. You see I've marked it with a Sharpie, and I'm going to go ahead and weld this section together here, and I'll have my exhaust pipe for the right hand side of the bike. It should be pretty easy compared to making the other side, which is a little more work, but we'll go ahead and tack weld this together and then go ahead and get this pipe done. Left side pipe is done. The right side pipe is basically done. I'm ready to put the tip on it right now. And I'm just going to do a little turnout right here. I'm going to turn that pipe out just so it's not blowing hot exhaust gases right on my paint on the frame there. Just away from the bike. And the same on the other side here. I'm going to put a little turnout tip on both sides. And these pipes are basically done. I'll go ahead and do the mounts. The mounts are boring, completely unexciting. I'm not going to show you that part at all, but I'm going to go ahead and put the tips on these, get the bike down off the stand, and let you see on the ground how these pipes really build the lines of the bike. So here's my little turnout exhaust tip that I've cut. I've marked the pipe with a Sharpie. I'm going to go ahead and TIG weld this on. I've got one cut for the other side of the motorcycle as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and TIG weld these two tips on. And that's basically my pipes done for the bike. They're stainless steel. I'll be able to polish up really nice, turn a beautiful color. They get kind of like a gold tinge to them, which is really nice. And they make a beautiful ring that you don't get from mild steel. The stainless steel pipes just have a different sound to them. Pretty excited about getting this part of the bike done and moving on to the next few things that need to be done before we can go to paint. Welding with a gas lens, which definitely helps with this kind of low current welding. So I welded the tip on this right side pipe here. Really happy with how the shape of the pipe and how the welds came out. If you've ever welded stainless steel, you know it just welds so nice, especially when you keep your current low. So really happy with this pipe. I can't stress enough how good I think the lines are on blow. It's got 4 inches of frame stretch, 38 degrees rake, 6-inch over Denver Springer. Just really great stance to it. But notice how everything on the bike is kind of ascending, you know, from the rear axle all the way to the neck. Everything really ascends on this motorcycle. Then you've got the exhaust pipes dropping down from the engine and sweeping back up. And you know, just the right angle is really important there. You get the right angle and it really accentuates the lines of this bike, and it makes it look like it's taking off, like it's lifting off for flight. And from any angle, especially from a 3/4 angle where you're looking from the rear tire, you really can see the lines of this bike come to life. And the pipes help me do it. Check how these pipes, when you go from the side to side, top to bottom, how they kind of balance out even though one's way further back than the other one. Those pipes kind of really bring the lines of this bike to life. Any angle, it's a good look. Thanks for watching Blow Part 4. On the next installment, I'm going to put passenger pegs on it. I'm going to put a side mount license tag bracket on the left side of the motorcycle. I'm going to do the top motor mount and make an Ed Ross style cartoon hand shifter for this bike. So that'll be coming to you pretty quick. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.